today I have a very fun one. I'm building a system to help me repurpose my emails and YouTube videos into social media posts and blog posts. Because making the most use of your content is a very good form of leverage, and it can help grow my business and grow all of my client businesses. So it's pretty darn useful. And to make my grand repurposing mastermind system, I need an AI to help me with that. And today, as I was just sitting down cracking on it, I saw that OpenAI released their brand new O3 model. So we're gonna talk about it. In this video, I'll explain my repurposing system, if you wanna see all that. Then I'll compare live O3 with the models that I was considering already, which is Claude and DeepSeek. And then I'll end with my pros and cons for each of them. Hey, my name is Jordan. I just spent the last 15 years building engineering businesses. But in 2021, I made a YouTube video, and then made another, and then I got obsessed, and fast forward 2 years, and I quit my 8-figure agency to help creators build their own business. And I share my daily insights in my hilarious, absolutely the best, the most fun emails on creator income. If you want those, you'll know where to find the link. But back to AI. First, here's how the system works. First, I write an email or I publish a YouTube video. Then I send this to an AI, and then the AI chews that and spits out a bunch of stuff. So I wanted to spit out a blog post, I wanted to spit out a short form post, maybe a bunch of them, and it spits out a longer post for platforms like LinkedIn. And I need this to happen automatically. I don't want to edit those, I don't want to mess around, I just want to reuse my own words to create my own other content, which is just an editing job, and it should be well within the capabilities of a modern AI. But that remains to be tested. So let's start with some comparison of how modern AIs deal with that sort of a problem. First of all, we have this email. This is an email that I wrote yesterday, and we're going to give this email to Claude. Here's the email, Claude. And then after that, we give Claude some instructions. We'll give this email to DeepSeek, and we'll give him some instructions as well. And we'll give this to OpenAI's O3. I'm using this POE site because I don't actually have a ChatGPT subscription right now. It should be exactly the same though. So we have 3 different places in which the email is there. Now we have a couple of ways to test this. So the first one would be just asking them to write a post about it. So let's ask them to write a tweet and see how they do. Write me about this email. And this is, by the way, without an actual prompt. So I expect all of those to be absolutely terrible. Let's see. My expectation is that O3 would be the fastest, Claude would be a little bit slower, and then DeepSeek would be last because DeepSeek has the most thinking shit. All right, so Claude is done. This is already done, and DeepSeek is thinking. Okay, so this is gonna take a while. That's normal when we're talking about reasoning models like DeepSeek or O1. They actually go through a process called chain of thought thinking. So they're going through the different steps of analysis to figure out what's the best way to approach this problem and give you the best possible solution from, one shot basically. Oh, perfect. The server is busy. That is exactly not what I wanted. Let's see if it has an option to use DeepSeek, because that would use a different server. Let's see, DeepSeek. Yes, we have V3. I think this is the one that we want to use, and we copy the email. No, this is not the email. Yeah, this is the email actually. And then we copy it, instruction, and let's see what we get. All right, this is gonna think for a little bit again, and you can see this is on their actual platform. This stuff is hidden, so they are not showing you that, or maybe they show you that in a drop down. Depends on the platform. I don't believe DeepSeek shows it. I have only used it through the API. This is the first time I have been logging it into the actual platform. Okay, all right. It's still thinking. Cool, and it's explaining why it works. Okay, so one thing that I've noticed with Claude lately is because they can't deal with their servers, they are very much aiming for very concise responses. This is kind of the default, even though they have those writing styles, and this is one of the writing styles is called concise. That ones are mine, but the concise writing style is something that they enforce as the default if their servers are busy. But I've noticed that Claude's just output generally drops as time passes by, because most of the outputs is giving and retraining itself with are concise. Maybe because they're kind of limiting the performance a little bit, because they frankly can't handle the servers and the overall load to the platform. They got a nifty 100 bill from Microsoft, so hopefully they fix that. Anyway, so we here see this tweet: as founders, we obsess over time spent and results achieved, but if those are the only metrics you track, you're setting yourself up for burnout. Score what really matters: learning, growth, team development, trust built. 10 result hits different when paired with a 10 out of 10 in learning. Oh yeah, this is nonsensical. It has a random rocket emoji at the end. It's pretty bad. The first part is okay. very heavy language, but we can take that. The second part is just nonsensical, and there is a random emoji at the end. One thing I give kudos for is there are no hashtags. Hashtags do not work anywhere, so the fact that it doesn't use them is great. And by the way, I might say he, she, it, whatever to AIs. I'm an engineer. Machines are my friends. I don't talk to real people, so it's okay. Anyway, so let's see what we have here. PSA to entrepreneurs: stop scoring only time and results. Score time plus results. 40 hours for 2 out of 10. I suck at learning. 40 hours, 2 out of 10 results, 9 out of 10 growth. I'm evolving. What we measure programs your mindset, track progress, not just performance. And mindset. Okay, does it count correctly though? Let's count this. 272 characters. According to DeepSeek, this is 270. Close enough. Like AIs in general are terrible at counting and math and all kinds of stuff like that. That's why they have special modules to do those things, because they're absolute garbage when it comes to that, because they imitate human brains. And we humans are very shit at counting and math and everything hyper logical like that. Computers are way better at that stuff. And when computers imitate humans, they get all of our weaknesses as well. Anyway, so this is a little bit better. This is actually understandable. I think it's a little bit too much, like in terms of it's very preachy. I don't like the general vibe of the post. It has hashtags, which I don't like. It starts with an emoji, which I don't like. It starts with a PSA, which is not a very Twitter thing to do or a very, threads thing to do. Like, this is something that you might still see on Reddit, but I don't see people saying that anymore. This is pretty old stuff. But, usable, close to usable, I would say. And we have to ignore a lot of the extra garbage it throws. This is something that you have to clean up with most AIs, because a lot of the time you'll get some blurb in addition. The AI that I've had the most success with, not giving me a bunch of extra random stuff, has been Claude, which is also the best writer, but also the most expensive one of the bunch. So, pros and cons. And cleaning a bunch of extra junk from the actual output is usually easier than, paying 5 times the price or 10 times the price. Or if we're thinking DeepSeek and Claude, we're talking 30 times the price, which can be very painful. Okay, so let's look at the O3. Be careful what you score. If you only track time and results, you miss the wins in learning, growth, and trust. Change your scorecard and see every hard hour add value. Okay, Actually, I like this one the best. It actually makes a lot of sense. It is short, it is sweet, it has hashtags. This is something that we can probably just prompt out of it. But so far from those three, all three has done a spectacular job, which is surprising because when it comes to creative work, Claude has always been the winner. Like flat out, O1, O mini, it doesn't matter, has been the best writer. We still don't know if that's the case for O3. Maybe it surpasses Claude. I am skeptical still because Claude has been the running champion for so long. But let's see, maybe we get something really, really good. Alright, so DeepSeek this is pretty trashy. I'm not a fan of this, but it did a decent enough job and this is more understandable than Claude. So let's try the same thing, but we'll use a prompt. And I have a very cool prompt here. No, this one is the wrong one. Don't sound like an AI prompt. And this is a prompt that does exactly what it says on the tin. It stops writing from sounding like AI writing. So it has a short list of instructions and banned words and stuff that the AI shouldn't. It's a pretty good prompt. I went through like 75 iterations to make it work well. I made it in Claude, so I used their console and I tested it with Claude exclusively. It's not optimized for the mistakes that other AIs make. So Claude should have a little bit of an advantage here. Let's see how that works. So we'll start new chats everywhere because I don't want to bias the conversation, right? And what we'll do is we're going to first get the email and we want the email everywhere and we want it here as well. And next we are going to add the prompt and then we'll add the original request, which is write me a tweet about this email. So everything else is exactly the same. So let me add the prompt and it pastes it and then I'll add the writing. Any Claude attaches longer strings of text as attachments, which is pretty clean. It is easier to manage. It has some negative effects like editing this is kind of a pain, but anyway, you can use a project if that's an issue. And what do we have here? Perfect. Okay, so we have to add the prompt here and then we have to add the request. Let's see if we can take it because this is a pretty long prompt. I know Claude could. Okay, so DeepSeek is thinking. We're going to DeepSeek for last because it's going to take a while. Oh, Mini is still thinking. 11 seconds. Claude is done. Okay, cool. Perfect. Okay, all right. Judging by the results, it might be interesting. Okay, so be careful what you score in your business. Okay, this is not a terrible hook. It is better. It actually states a specific problem and it creates some curiosity in people because we're talking about scoring stuff in business, which is kind of a novel idea. Like people are not scoring their business all the time. Scores usually for games, which was, the reason I named the email this way because I wanted this to be interesting. Then time spent plus results only tell you half of the story. Include learning experience and team growth in your metrics. Because 40 hours for 2 out of 10 results feel terrible until you had that 9 out of 10 learning score that made it all worth it. I'm not completely sold on how clear that is. I think this could be better, but it's not horrible. I like that it doesn't include a lot of the words that I banned in the prompt. So I ban a lot of the AI sounding drivel, a lot of the very AI-ish words that are just simply terrible. And this is not bad. I would say with some slight edits I would probably be able to post this. We'll probably have to do some follow-up prompts, but let's see what we have. All right. Scoring the wrong metric will ruin you. Oh, that's good. Oh, this is nice. I like that. This actually has some emotion in it. This is powerful. This is better. Client in the grind hard phase, learning 11 skills at once. Okay, I like the ellipsis. My warning, track time plus results alone. Okay, I mean, I know the context, so I'm not sure how clear that would be to other people. For me, like right now it seems fine. Okay, this feels like we're repeating the same stuff. Like this is kind of visualizing this, but you know, it's not as clear as I would want it. Okay, but that one thing, now you're winning. Okay, the hook is better. I like the hook. It starts with a story, it abandons the story immediately, which is not perfect. It ends with score what matters. I like that. It uses strong language. I like that as well. I don't like being censored by AIs, and I use strong language in my writing. This is actually fine. This is okay. I don't like the we framing too much, but it's fine here. This one is a little bit confusing, so I would, rewrite that a little bit, but not too bad. And let's see 03, this is the new one. Score what matters. 20 hours plus 20 hours of something plus 2 out of 10 results feels like wasted time. Add 9 out of 10 on learning and it flips. Don't track just time and results, track learning too. Grow every day. No, this is bad. This is the worst one of the bunch. I think that when it comes to recreating the emotions that I had in the email, DeepSeek actually did the best job. Actually, I think I like DeepSeek the most from all three of those. This is fine, but it is timid, I think. So let's help them out a little bit. We'll send an additional prompt to all of those. This is a bit too cringe. Make it better. Think hard and make it better. When you ask AIs to think hard, they think harder, which is what we want here. Okay, and let's send it here as well and see what we get. Because this is obviously too short. I don't want to give them specialized instructions for each just yet, but in the next experiment, we can actually take the initial prompt and rerun it, but this time adding specific instructions for all of them. So actually helping them fix their weaknesses. Right now, we're keeping the test exactly the same because that creates for the best testing environment. Don't only track hours and outcomes at 40 hours and 12 time. Okay, that is still pretty bad. Let's see. Most founders only track time as well. That's fine if you efficient progress and learning to your metrics, how different. Okay, this is dry again. This is better than 03, but it's still dry. Let's see what we get from DeepSeek. Okay, this is the thinking phase. Track the raw. Actually, let's see if this actually fits. Let's see, count we have. Yeah, this is way too long. So DeepSeek fails at one of the most important instructions, which is make sure it fits. Because if this doesn't fit, then, we can't really use it. All right. I like the not equal signs. They're very cool. Track run numbers, roaches, sanity crumb. Okay. It's nailing the actual emotions. It's trying to make this thing, I think this is a bit too fancy for my style of writing, but I'll take it. This is a bit of a summary. Like I wouldn't read the post after this because, this kind of makes the point clear, but sure. The middle part is still lame. Suddenly progress. Ooh, that's not horrible. We kill ourselves chasing perfect time plus output scores. Nobody wins that game. Track. I like that. This one is good. I might even tweet that. This is cool. Track growth, track lessons, track small wins, measure better, win better. It's that simple. That's actually nice. I like that part. So DeepSeek has been generating some of the best segments, but it fails at the overall tweet structure and everything. So let's make a little bit of an instruction for all of them. So I want you to, 1, make sure this is clear. And I'll send the same one again for all of them. 2, improve this so it adds more emotion. It feels, lets people emotion over this. Okay, we want to make sure that this is clear, of course. The meaning, impact should be clear to readers. Be careful just quoting scores. Okay, 3, we want the clarity. Format this according to the best practices for the medium. I'm not going to repeat the medium. I'm just going to copy this whole thing and just send it to all of them and let's see what we get. Because, for example, this here is formatted in a neat way. I like that. This here isn't, which is horrible. And this here, okay, this is better. This is formatted better at the very least. One of the big issues that you'll find is if you just slam somewhere a giant square of text, people people run away and they don't read it. So we don't want that. Okay, don't track just hours and outcomes. Low results can stink. Okay. But if you can see how much you learned, every day feels like a win. A little bit unclear. It lacks a little bit of a punch there, but significantly better. Score really counts. Okay, so we are still slamming that score label, even though it's nonsensical here. Like, we are not talking about scores. It feels like just pretty random here, but this is significantly better than what we had so far. And O3 has been very quick. I still think that DeepSeek is slower and Claude is faster, but at the same time, O3 is kind of the smallest model here. So the fact that it is that fast does count for something. Okay, Claude decided to throw everything in the bin and start over, it seems. It completely forgot that, wait, no, this is the new version. Okay, let's count this. 257. Okay, this fits. This is fine. Spent 40 hours on a project that flopped. Not too relatable, but not terrible. Most founders only track time plus output and spiral. This needs more build up. Like, you can't just slam that and people get it. Like, people don't connect tracking to spiraling. It's not a clear connection. And because it's not a clear connection, this line will lose everyone. Smart founders also track what they learned. Okay, that's not a bad line. Same project, time 40 hours, results failed, learning, mastered a new skill. Suddenly that failure looks like an investment. Okay, this actually is the first time in which we managed to add some numbers and specifics from the original email to this, and for it to not be absolute garbage. So this is a significant improvement. I still can't say that this is my favorite. We gotta see the other ones first, but let's see. Okay, so I'm pretty sure. Okay. Ooh, DeepSeek bolded it. That means it's better now. Okay. Measuring the wrong thing steals your confidence. Paper cuts add up. Yes, I also think that paper cuts and stealing your confidence are synonyms, because yes, client learning 11 skills at once. No, you can't just drop that. Like, I bet this is the only mention of a client here. Her trap, our slow results were. No, that doesn't make sense. Crunch those numbers. Yeah. No, this is, the mirror is still weak. We treat time like holy metrics. That's fine, but nobody survives that much. I like all of them are doing a good job with structuring sentences. I would say DeepSeek has been nailing that the best. Claude is doing a decent job as well, but I don't see too many sentences like split up in the middle, starting with buts and ands and all that. And O3 is doing a commendable job as well. I even think that O3 is doing a better job with structure compared to Claude. Okay, so this is decent. Now I have another prompt that we'll test, because this has been pretty underwhelming when it comes to O3. I think that we still need to give O3 a chance, because I still think that it can do a good job. So I'll do something different. I'll use O3 and I'll say generate a marketing email talking about how creators need to make their own money. The whole point of creator income. Basically, if you don't make your own money, you're dependent on algorithms. Algorithms suck and they can basically destroy your business in a day. So you want to make your own money. So let's see what O3 has to do when it comes to creative writing. Hi creators. Okay. Yeah. So this is a very classic garbage email, very, very standard stuff. Let's clean it up a little bit and we'll use this one to actually edit it. We don't care about this. Okay. So let's find all the brackets. Hi, we'll remove the hi and now add a Jordan at the end. So it kind of feels like an email. And let's see if we have square brackets, not a regular expression. At creator income, we're passionate about giving creators like you the tools to monetize your work effectively. Anyway, this is terrible. Get started now. Okay, we don't have any brackets. So this is gonna be the email we work with. Okay, we're starting a new chat and we're going to give it the email. No, actually, let me start with giving it my other prompt, which is my ghostwriter. This one I've been designing so it can actually create new content from what I give it, basically. And then let's give it the email. Cool. So this is the email. Edit this email into a tweet. Cool. And here we're going to do the same thing. Here's the email. And then we ask it to edit it as a tweet. And again, we added the email. And then we ask it to edit this as a tweet. So we have the same stuff everywhere. And we can just send that everywhere. Perfectly testing the performance of all of those. I want to use them through an API. I want to use them for automation. If that's the case, you don't really care about how fast they reply, as long as it's kind of reasonable in the next couple of seconds. Obviously, we have, significantly different results, but yeah. Cool. Okay, so DeepSeek is still thinking. Let's look at what Claude gives us. This I have been using with Claude and I'm generally very happy with this prompt, so let's see. Most creators give away power to platforms that don't care about them. But the best creators I know do something different. They own their income streams, audience relationships, creating decisions, business model. No gatekeepers, no middleman, just creator and audience. That's true independence. That's actually very cool. I think that is a very okay tweet to post. Obviously, there are some improvements you can make to the hook. Obviously, we can improve the whole thing all around. But this is better than most people can write, to be honest. Like, most people can't write a tweet that is as good as this one. So this is banging. Like, this is cool. I am very happy with this, and I'm pretty sure that like 98% of the population can't top this in terms of quality of writing. So even if this is not exactly what I can achieve by hand, I'm very happy having this being, you know, living as my repurposed content, because obviously this is not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so we can't really do this. I don't think we can post this on Twitter. I would love to have strike-through text in my social media post. That would be absolutely amazing. But no, we can't do that. Your art funds their business model. Okay. I like that. This is just taking the finger and sticking it in the pain. You get scrubs, they get rich. We're just digging in that, you know, pain again. And you say thanks for the exposure. And we need to use, you know, we need to add an extra field so we stop it from strike-through text and just put it in quotations. But that's fine. But your work not equals your free content mine. Okay, a bit of metaphoric, not completely clear, but that's okay. The shit no one talks about. 1k followers, 100 emails, sub 10 buyers, 1k. Control the chain, profit on your terms. Okay. That's, you know, visual, interesting. I would format this a little bit differently, but not bad. Your audience wants to pay you, but you're asking them to pay them. A bit confusing, but I get the idea. Break the platform. Oh, that's cool. That is actually very cool. And Jordan's link. Okay, we don't have a link actually, but yeah. So this is really, really good. I'm very happy with DeepSeek as well. DeepSeek did a great job. Obviously, this prompt has done it works significantly better for both Claude and DeepSeek. I have more comments here, and even though this has certain sections done significantly better than Claude and they're more emotional, I think they will do better. At the same time, it has more errors and mistakes. So if I was running through this, I would probably do a two-stage iteration, so I actually get to clean all the boo-boos it makes. Okay, let's see. The most exciting one. Okay, this is a bit short, but okay. Your art should pay you, not strangers. No, I don't like EM dashes. So look, that's important. There are two types of dashes. You have EM dashes and you have N dashes. The EM dash looks like this. It's a long dash. The N dash is still sexier than a normal dash, but it's better. Just look at how sexy this boy is. And the other ones are just like, no. You always use EM dashes. This is the only dash you use. And by the way, this is in my instructions. I only allow AIs to use my dash, not this one. So bad job, all three. Very bad job. Tired of gatekeep your worth? Own your earnings with creator income. You sell direct, capture insights, and build a future where your passion fuels profit. What? No, I have no idea what that is. Are we talking about this? No, this is this original email, even though I haven't read it, obviously, because why would I? It's about joining a growing community or something. Like, it doesn't. No. So this is very obviously just making stuff up. No, this is a very high level of sin here, because it is making stuff up and it is trying too hard, which it simply doesn't speak into. So no, I had to compare those. I would still trust Claude, but I'm betting that if I run DeepSeek 2 or 3 times in a row, like I have 2 or 3 prompts to actually create and refine the whole thing, I would still pay 15 times less than I pay Claude, and I'll get better results. Because when it comes to just hitting the problem perfectly, this is better. There's still some wording, things that I would change, of course, but at the same time, this is actually hitting much harder because it is really trying to speak to people's emotions and not just giving people facts. When we're talking about this, we're giving something emotional, platforms that don't care about them, but we're talking about them, about other people, and we're giving away our power, which is a very generic thing. I can't imagine that. So this is significantly worse when it comes to this being a hook. It is usable. I would post this because it's fine, but it's only fine. This has the potential to be great. So I'm very, very happy with how this, turns out. This can be absolutely astonishing with enough work. Cool. So I think I have enough right now to give you which ones should you use. You should join Creator Income before we get there, because obviously you learn a lot more than just which AI is best for a random automation. You learn how to build an actual business, but let's talk about the automations. So when it comes to O3 has done a decent job at speed. It is pretty fast. O3 has done a decent job at generating content. I actually like the email, and I have been testing every single model at generating original content. All of them suck, but O3 sucks a little bit less. I give O3 that. When it comes to following instructions, it's doing a decent job. It's better than DeepSeek, certainly. But when it comes to creativity, it is bad. And when it comes to making stuff up and kind of filling in the blanks with just random stuff, it's not great. So I would rate O3 compared to Claude and DeepSeek as the least capable contender so far. And I am willing to bet a lot that O3 is going to be more expensive than DeepSeek, because of course it's going to be more expensive than DeepSeek. When it comes to DeepSeek and Claude, I'm actually a little bit torn. If we're talking about one-shots means you give the AI an instruction and then you get a result. Claude is better by far. Like, it requires less fidgeting about, it gives you usable answers, it does a better job at actually following all of your instructions and not just part of your instructions. This is great. I do still think that this is a tough decision between which one is first, because DeepSeek is actually better when it comes to just exaggeration, when it comes to making things imaginable, when it makes creative content, pop out and be very, very cool and usable. I think this is better. So if I had to choose which one to use as my problem solver, I would still probably go with, because O3 and OpenAI's models are in general better at just general problem solving. They're fast enough, they do a good job, they have internet access, pretty good deal for the money, and they usually stay on top of that, and the company is moving fast. So if you want to use this for research, just get OpenAI subscription and a ChatGPT subscription. If it comes to creative work, I would not pick ChatGPT or any of the models it offers right now. I don't think they're good enough for what the creator economy requires nowadays. If I am to use the platform manually, I would pick Claude. As you can see by the very fact that I have a Claude subscription and I have a bunch of stuff in my history, I am using Claude quite a lot. It's a very powerful tool. And if it comes to automation, this is insanely high quality. This is a single prompt. It does not have any other training data, by the way. With Claude, I usually run this with a bunch more training data to make sure that it understands me, understands the business, understands the customers. Like, this has nothing, and it's still a usable thing. Like, it is not horrible. I expected way worse from DeepSeek. Considering the fact that I can run this on my own infrastructure, this is amazing. Like, this is absolutely amazing. And keep in mind, the price difference here is like 30, 40, 50. It's stupidly different. Like, DeepSeek is so much cheaper. Even now, the online version of DeepSeek is free. So if you're just looking for a very powerful AI that you just want to use, you can use the play around with their open platform that you can just use. For now, they're going to close it eventually, obviously, after they grow enough in popularity. But for just API requests and just doing that kind of work, absolutely astonishing. I'm very, very happy with how this works, and I think this has a huge amount of potential, especially if you don't try to one-shot everything and just use several different prompts. When it comes to the platform and the features of the platform, the OpenAI are leading there. They have the most stuff in the platform. They're the most powerful platform, but I kind of feel very cozy in Claude, and I like the deep shot performance when I post my super long prompts a lot. So I would still stick with Claude there. But if you're just looking for a very nice environment, both of them can work. And when it comes to the actual applications on your computer, I actually have ChatGPT installed and I sometimes use it because ChatGPT is simply much better. Like, when it comes to the actual application, ChatGPT is above and beyond. Like, I sometimes use Raycast because Raycast is doing a good job there, but I often use ChatGPT because ChatGPT, the application, is the best one of the bunch. When it comes to the platform functionality, even though a lot of the stuff in all of them is pretty half-assed, ChatGPT actually did a great job with the app, a great job with the accessibility, a great job with everything to make it seamless and make your day work faster. So what should you do? If you're automating something, if you're building a sophisticated automation system, it's a choice between DeepSeek and Claude. Claude can generate better results, especially if you use several prompts. It is just a very, very, very powerful platform. Toe-to-toe with DeepSeek. So right now I wouldn't warrant the extra cost of Claude compared to just hitting DeepSeek one more time and getting the same level of results. I like how hard DeepSeek hits emotion. So creative writing, if you do a good job with the prompt, it can do a decent job. And very cheap. And you can host it on any machine that you want, which is stupidly powerful. Claude is proprietary. They can do stuff. They can change the algorithm without your knowledge. You don't have much you can do about it. DeepSeek, you can even host it on your computer if you want to. It is not the best experience, but you can. So for automation, by far, my recommendation is DeepSeek. For one-shot prompts and just creative stuff, I would use Claude. And for general stuff, I would use ChatGPT. That would be my ranking at the end. As a very engineering person, 15 years of engineering making me a very engineering person. That's why I did them. I worked for 15 years as an engineer to be able to say I'm a very engineering person on YouTube. Yeah.